Hello, and welcome back to Scrum Study. So how's it going? Are you learning Scrum with us? I'm sure it's been an amazing learning experience. So let's get started with today's video. As we know that the Scrum methodology functions through different phases, and so we have seen 4 phases. In the last video, we talked about the second process in the phase, review and retrospect. In this segment, we're going to talk about the last process in this phase, Retrospect Sprint. Well, inputs play a major role in the processing of any data. What are the sources of input for Retrospect Sprint? Let's start with the Scrum Master. A Scrum Master is a facilitator and servant leader who ensures that the Scrum team is provided with an environment conducive to completing the project successfully. The Scrum Master guides, facilitates, and teaches Scrum practices to everyone involved in the project, clears impediments for the team, and ensures that the Scrum processes are being followed. It is the responsibility of the product owner to identify the Scrum Master for a Scrum project. Next is the Scrum Team. The Scrum Team, sometimes referred to as the development team, is a group or team of people who are responsible for understanding the business requirements specified by the product owner, estimating user stories, and final creation of the project deliverables. Scrum teams are cross-functional and self-organizing. The team decides the amount of work to commit to in a sprint and determines the best way to perform the work. The Scrum team consists of cross-functional team members who carry out all the work involved in creating potentially shippable deliverables, including development, testing, quality assurance, etc. Identifying the Scrum team is the responsibility of the product owner, often in consultation with the Scrum Master. The outputs from Demonstrate and Validate Sprint are also used as a source of input. Accepted deliverables is the most important output generated as part of Demonstrate and Validate Sprint process. Deliverables which meet the user story acceptance criteria are accepted by the product owner. The objective of a sprint is to create potentially shippable deliverables, or product increments, which meet the acceptance criteria defined by the customer and product owner. These are considered accepted deliverables that may be released to the customer if they so desire. A list of accepted deliverables is maintained and updated after each sprint review meeting. If a deliverable does not meet the defined acceptance criteria, it is not considered accepted and will usually be carried forward into a subsequent sprint to rectify any issues. This is highly undesirable because the objective of every sprint is for the deliverables to meet the criteria for acceptance. It's time to see the tool used to work on the inputs being provided. In this process, Retrospect Sprint Meeting. The Retrospect Sprint Meeting is an important element of the Inspect-Adapt Scrum framework, and it is the final step in a sprint. All Scrum team members attend the meeting, which is facilitated or moderated by the Scrum Master. It is recommended but not required for the product owner to attend. One team member acts as a scribe and documents discussions and items for future action. It is essential to hold this meeting in an open and relaxed environment to encourage full participation by all team members. Discussions in the Retrospect Sprint Meeting encompass both what went wrong and what went right. Primary objectives of the meeting are to identify 3 specific items, namely, things the team needs to keep doing, best practices, things the team needs to begin doing, process improvements, and things the team needs to stop doing, process problems and bottlenecks. These areas are discussed and a list of agreed actionable improvements is created. So what do you think will be the output if this process is called Retrospect Sprint? Well, agreed actionable improvements are the primary output of the Retrospect Sprint process. They are the list of actionable items that the team has come up with to address problems and improve processes in order to enhance their performance in future sprints. Now, let's just have a quick wrap-up of what we've learned in this video. So far, we have seen that review and retrospect, as a phase, is concerned with reviewing the deliverables and the work that has been done and determining ways to improve the practices and methods used to do project work. This phase is carried out through 3 processes, namely convene Scrum of Scrums, Demonstrate and Validate Sprint, and Retrospect Sprint. Hope you've enjoyed the learning process throughout this session. We look forward to seeing you in our next video on release. Until then, keep learning Scrum, and thanks for watching.